Okay, well, we are going. This fucking fire thing is insanity. So we're gonna take a look at this because, yeah, I mean, you just wake up any fucking day and it's like the world is just fucking on fire, and like you really sometimes just gotta shake your head at this shit. So, it just appeared out of nowhere. Yes, the other day, this story. And you really gotta wonder to yourself, and you gotta be like, fucking climate change. Like this is like, there was many places that have been just like strangely burned with these wildfires, and I think what it is that people are saying it was homeless people that started. No, it's like they may have started it, but this wouldn't have gotten to the level it did if it wasn't for this man-made climate change. And you just know that you're in LA. There's so much pollution, so much smog, so much natural world being just siphoned out of the pollution of that place. And you really gotta fucking wonder. So I mean, of course, this is all over Twitter 24/7. A heartbreaking situation took place because that place is like so ritzy and fucking beautiful. And you just gotta wonder, like, how 2025 did that. How, like, of course you could fly back from this, but you really gotta wonder yourself. It's just like, what a 2025 thing. What an absolute 2025 fucking situation this is. And yeah, just, I mean, so look at this. So it all started yesterday, of course. And yesterday, I mean, I'm just looking at this news, like, I mean, 99% of people just being like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the fuck? It's like, this is the news that we gotta look at every day. But, I mean, my assessment is this. My assessment is this. I'm like, let's look at this for real shit for once. This isn't a regular occurrence. Like, this shouldn't be like a common thing that happens every once in a while. It's like, oh yeah, it's just the weather, they're just diverting water from fucking that. Oh no, it's the homeless people. Homeless people are setting the fires. No, this is something bigger. This is something bigger. And what we're seeing is these events. And first thing out the window, climate change. Fucking banter back and forth online. So much banter back and forth online about it. But, like, I mean, this is gonna happen every year? Like, I mean, why did it happen? And you gotta wonder yourself that. And the truth of the matter with climate change is that our planet is warming at such an extreme level that it's just sucked all the natural it sucked all the natural defenses that our Earth has. And our Earth is very resilient and has survived these kinds of things. But it's so much more tragic when it happens to people because, this is not cool. And a lot of people are seeing that this is not cool. It just started on the news the other day. Let's get a look at the fucking news around the wheel on this. It just started the other day. Just like, you just look at your phone and you see the news and there it is. And it just is right in your fucking face here. And you gotta just wonder to yourself, and you're like, yeah, how fucked is the world gonna get, This is the start of our 2025. The insanity of the terror attack, the fires of Los Angeles, it's just like we can't catch a break. So, I mean, obviously, they start somehow. But I think the reason they can't control it is because of the fact it's just a very, I don't know, it's just a fucking, oh yeah, I forgot to press YouTube on test. This is for a Twitch video, so go check out my Twitch channel of this. I'll have this post on my main channel. I could do that. I can set it to private, can I? I should have set it to private. I don't know. Fuck, why did I do that? But anyways, these fires, it's like they are most certainly coming from some type of fucking climate crisis thing. I mean, I had, I had all these stories of fires burning cities. It's like, is that normal? That's not normal, people. Like, wake the fuck up. Like, this is gonna get worse, this shit. And we're already seeing, like, California burning. So, I mean, it's like, you really gotta wonder with climate change. And the thing is that I always follow the science. And it fucking makes sense, man. It just makes sense. Like, the climate is... It's changed. It's changing. Like, it's gonna, like, there's not gonna be fire of tornadoes outside. And, like, what's it gonna take for people to be like, holy shit, no more coal, no more fucking, oil and gas, let's fucking get rid of it. Elon Musk build us all fucking power plants, and let's just see if the world can... humans will never do that. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you stupid? Do you think humans, the most selfish creatures ever possible, would just suddenly stop the way of life to help the greater humanity? Would they? Nah. You get fucking people are gonna be making money off of this. The newsreels, the coverage, the restoration. You had crazy stories like a guy wanting to pay firefighters to protect his goddamn fucking house. That fucking kind of shit. And you think people are gonna band together and try and stop climate change? Fuck no. They'll never fucking stop that. Are you kidding me? So, you got this just absolute shitstorm. I mean, you got people talking about the fucking UFOs starting it. You got people hating on DEI. You got it's just a shitstorm. And you know what? It's so apt. It's just like so 2025, Just had to start with us. Put James Woods. Pray for James Woods. Pray for all the amazing fucking actors out there. Movie producers, songwriters, creatives, artists, cool ass people. Pray for their asses out there. James Woods a fucking legend. So many great movies. He's a legend. He wouldn't like it. I was talking about climate change though. But sorry, I mean James Woods, he's pretty opinionated, but look at this shit.
We've got a lot of planes going over.
James Woods!
Dropping water, but...
What's his voice? Fucking legend.
Standing in my driveway getting ready to evacuate.
Fucking James Woods.
We've got a lot of planes going over.
He's a smart
dropping
man.
Water, but...
James Woods is fucking brilliant. He's not gonna get caught off guard for this, but he...
Standing in my driveway getting ready to...
It's really hurting. Poor dude. And of course, first thing, let's make it political. This is insanity. This story of this lady cutting all this funding, this DEI stuff, is crazy. I mean, that's fucking crazy. You wouldn't dream that something like that would happen, but that's just, it's like I said, it's just the perfect storm. It's just the perfect event. It encapsulates 2025. Whoever started it, and it's not going to be like an eco-terrorist event or homeless people. These events, like, they know that when they can't contain these things because the conditions are so dry, the environment is brittle, dry. Just imagine a whole field full of paper towel or toilet paper. Can you imagine if someone dropped a cigarette? It just turns into a massive thing. And that's the thing about physics and fire and environment and all these complex systems of our world in tandem, that fire is this thing that just can implode and it can grow to a size that even the ingenuities of the human strength and all together, all these agencies, all these fire departments doing this, doing that, they still can't like protect against it. It's incredible. It's really incredible, and that's what fire is. Is it's this crazy force, and when you have things like climate change exasperating the situation, it just gets worse. You know, and here we have, that was 22 hours ago. The latest is like Hollywood Hills are on fire. So I mean, it's all fucking crazy. And my personal assessment is that, you know what, I'm a firm believer in climate change. I believe the science. I believe the people that did these calculations. It makes sense, you know? You take the earth and you fill it with all these fucking chemicals, and you cut down all these trees, and you build all these population centers like LA, just sucking resources out of the land on every thing. Nature dies, you know what I mean? Like, nature dies when this shit happens, and you get tragic stories like this. It's insane. How about fucking Biden sending 500 million to Ukraine on the same day this does? Jesus Christ. You know, if Elon Musk donated $1 billion to this, $1 billion, just think about all the resources and things. $1 billion, Elon Musk, of his net worth. That's 0.03% of his net worth. So he could throw like 25 bill out, like, you know, like that's only gonna be a couple percent of his net worth. It's just insane. It's where this is a situation where all our money and all our power and all our resources can't stop the wrath of Mother Nature. You just can't. You just can't. And when our world erupts like this, whether it be a volcano, asteroid, tsunami, any of these huge events, we have to be cautious, because our human condition can only do so much. We can't stop some of these things. So we have to learn to mitigate them, and I think number one would be thinking about climate change and just what its effects are going to be. You know, it's become such a political issue, but one day it's going to become a human issue. One day, and there's no food, and there's massive lootings. It's like it's already happening. So I mean, one day we have to just come together as a species and just say, hey, look, let me be fucking real. Do you think human beings are going to come together as a species? Probably not. Probably never. Look at this fucking guy. ABC's David Muir roasted for fake pinning of his things. Look at that. He had to just look good. Look at his little ABC fucking vest on. He's got fucking tactical armor under there. He's got a fire hose in the back of his truck. Like, he's fucking ready for action. It's terrible. And I saw a heart-wrenching picture of a deer today. And that's the thing that you got to think about with these fires, that nature is this one thing, okay? It's a connected system, and it has creatures and animals and all these things that work in tandem. And when you start to break apart things by adding, let's say like 25 million people to an environment with constant pollution and littering and garbage and mistreatment of the waterways, and when you have this go on for years and years and years, you get an environment that is dead, and it dies. And this is what happens when it dies, is it kind of gets, you know, it just gets everything sucked out of it. All the nature that keeps these things in check as much as they could. Now, forest fires, wildfires, they're natural in nature. They happen from lightning strikes. Some trees even base their whole reproductive system around this measure. But I mean, this is a complex system that when you throw human beings and our terrible ways that we treat the environment into the mix, you get this, like, you get this sort of intense type of action. It's insane. Yeah, look at the footage of LA fires. All major 3 fires are still that's 17 hours ago. And you're seeing things from 24 hours ago. You'll probably, this will be in the news cycle for an entire week. And it might just go away. You know, isn't that weird? It's like the Ukraine thing. And it's like the thing in Israel and Gaza. It's like these events happen, and then human beings, we're just on to the next thing. Like, I mean, like, this is like encapsulated the world. Everybody's like, oh shit, LA's on fire, you know, like, fuck. But I mean, expect it just to be a major part of the news cycle. You know, because here we go, even on BBC. Oh, is BBC gonna fucking want to swipe my credit card? Yeah, okay, so here we have the map kind of it. And, you know, this has been interesting because I've been learning a lot about the geography. Number one, very much similar to the GTA 5 map, NGL. Because, yeah, that's... But anyways, I kind of recognized Malibu because when it said Malibu and Palisades were on fire, I kind of noticed that it was a lot like the GTA 5 like coastal region. And you can see it's like, it's kind of the coastal type of region from that. So I mean, you know where it all is. It's just like all within this kind of section, and then it can break in. I believe it can go into that. And that's the question that we're really asking ourselves, is it's like, okay, there's all these fires all fucking around. What happens if it just like all throughout LA catches on fire? Like, do fires, now we've seen fires happen in these big public events, or like public houses, and it just burns right through a swath. But it kind of has seemed to kind of stop at something. I mean, you would think with a city like LA, it would just like, if one little spot of it caught on fire, the whole thing would just, fuck, can you imagine that? The LA fires of 2025, like half of Los Angeles burns down. But this is the crazy kind of news stories that I was talking about in videos past that you got to look out for in 2025. You got to protect your mental beings, because like, man, this has to be fucking climate change. And you know, there's gonna be more of this. Every year, there's more of these crazy weather events. It's like Helene and what was the other one, Milton or whatever. They just came and they fucking left. It's crazy. And yeah, and like you can kind of see where it was kind of broken up, or it appears like it's being broken up from the natural defenses of roadways and measurabilities. Now, it's not to say that they can't drift far the fires into that, but I mean, clearly it would appear as if the wooded areas and grasslands take more of a hit from these types of things. So I mean, really fucked up. But I mean, just another shitstorm online. Look at Twitter. It is heartbreaking, and it's one of those things where it's like, the online discourse around climate change, man. Look at how dry that all looks, eh? Look at how just dry the fields look, and just like an absolute tinderbox. Whereas if there was a small little fire there, it's gonna just go up like a tinderbox. And they're saying that driving another fire started in Hollywood goes. Now, that is to say that people are going to be very aware of these things, and maybe these fires start up there, get put out rather. So there's lots of factors in play. There's like what brush there is, what natural topography kind of stops and contains it. So I mean, firefighters have a lot to consider. Um, you hear things like them digging kind of ditches and just removing a swath of forest so it hopefully can't go over. But these types of things wouldn't have fucking happened um, if it wasn't for climate change. Look at Harrison Ford, dear God. These things never would have happened if it wasn't for climate change. Trust me. It's people know it deep in their souls, and that's why they get fucking triggered when they hear it online. And it's like, uh, it just it's just one of those things nobody's gonna agree to. President Biden cancels trip. Yeah, I mean these things are pretty. These the fires have to go out. I mean, one day it's gonna rain. The conditions change, the humidity change, the wind, there's so many factors. So these things do end, and I just hope everybody, all the history of Hollywood is preserved. Because I'm a fucking massive movie guy, and I fucking love James Woods, even though he disagreed with me on the climate change thing. It's very weird. It's very weird, the whole thing. And, you gotta ask yourself of different, prophecies and types of things like that. And it's like, is 2025 the year where it all goes to shit? Not a great start. Not a great start at all. Look at this fucking place. I was in January. So, this is history happening. So, very interesting. Keep your mind open about climate change, and just remember that our planet is affected by what we have done to it, for sure, without a fucking shadow of doubt. You can argue till you're blue in the face. Science says it, and common logic tells you that this is like us all in a corner telling the climate change guy to shut up, and oh, don't talk about climate change. It's never climate change. Fucking conspiracy theories. And then it just slapping us in the face, because yeah, it does. It really is. It's crazy. So let me know your thoughts, and peace out.